So excited to be here today with some of my personal heroes, honestly. My family homeschools, and so we relate very much with some of the things that you all do as a family. And you have taken 19 Kids and Counting, a reality show based on your family, to a whole new level because now you have written a book. Tell us a little bit about your new book.
That's right. We've written a book called Growing Up Duggar. Yeah. And all four of us girls wrote this together. It's been about a 2-year project.
Okay.
So we're really excited about it.
And so tell me this. So what preempted the book? Why did you decide to do it? And what are we going to learn in the book that we didn't see on the show?
We've been getting a lot of emails and letters from people just requesting to know more about our family. And so some of that we've taken and tried to answer in the book. And we've written it to young ladies to really encourage them in their daily life. And we share a lot of personal stories, things that people haven't heard before, and personal illustrations. And yeah, we talk about relationships with yourself, which is a huge one for girls.
Yes.
And relationship with your parents, your siblings, guys, that's another big one. And so we kind of merge all those together and talk about how your relationship with God can go into all of those other relationships. And so we give principles and outlines that we've been encouraged by other people sharing with us, and share personal examples and personal stories to really make those points come home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of the families I know in homeschooling participate in courtship rather than dating.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you all do as well?
That is. We have taken a different approach. We call it like dating with a purpose, or courtship. And so each
that purpose, for those who don't know.
Marriage. So you're not just dating to just date and have fun.
Yeah.
It's really, you're looking, when you find somebody that you have an interest in, you would consider them as a possible marriage partner. And so that's kind of how our family does it. Jessa right now, in our upcoming show on TLC that'll be premiering on April 1st, they're going to be talking about that a little bit. She's in a courtship relationship with a young man right now.
Oh, okay. Can I ask you about that? Okay, well, so my question is, in a world where the values are very different from those of your family, how do you keep that from tainting your personal experiences?
Wow. Well, we have a lot of great role models. I do in my older siblings, and just look up to them so much in their example. And also realize that I'm setting a standard for all the ones coming up under me. And so, just purposing to keep standards high, like in this relationship that I'm in. We've talked about guidelines and things we want to set for ourselves. And so, trying to keep those standards high.
So for those who don't understand what courtship is, can you explain that just a little bit?
Yeah, like Jill said, courtship is just dating with a purpose. And so, that purpose is marriage. And
so you don't just date various people. This is something that you date. If you're going to have a date, you are thinking that this person is marriage material. It's very serious. And it's very different from just the kind of date everyone kind of hookup thing going on in the culture. Well, what's the feedback from people when they know that you're in a courtship? What do you hear from people? Are they surprised?
Well, I guess there's one down and 3 more available. No?
That's absolutely perfect. So it must be a little bit different to be raised in the limelight. What would you say is the most different thing? What do you miss from a life that's not in the limelight?
I think it's always really exciting. In our family, we have a lot of love to go around. A lot of people look at our family and be like, how do your parents have enough time to spend with each one of you?
That's a good question.
Really, really, we look at it as love multiplies. It doesn't divide. And that's like my parents' book that they wrote. They really kind of explain that. And in our book, Growing Up Duggar, we also take those principles that our family has been taught and growing up, and just kind of go in and hone in more on relationships and how those are really important, because your family is going to be with you through thick and thin. And so you really want to build those relationships strong. And my parents have encouraged us ever since we were young, just, your brothers and sisters are your best friends. You need to hone in on those relationships and keep those strong. And so, that's what we talk about in our book. And we're really excited to having released it this week and getting a lot of positive feedback.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Okay, so this is what I want to know from you. What is the best thing your parents taught you about how to get along with your siblings?
To humble yourself in a situation, just purposing that when you humble yourself, then those relationships will come back together and just admit when you're wrong, and that's been what my parents have been a good example of that in their own relationship, and then from that we see their example, and it helps each one of us to know how to respond.
Oh, that's awesome. Can I ask you a question too? Okay, so what are your hopes for this book?
My hopes are that this book will really be an encouragement to young ladies, and that's our main audience, and just to know that through the difficult times, or the good and bad, that God is always there for them, and that we understand we're normal girls, have the same struggles, the same challenges, just like anyone else, but that if you turn your heart completely to the Lord, that He will definitely help you and will be there for you.
That's awesome. Where can people find out more about your book?
You can go to DuggarFamily.com. We have a lot of resources on there, and we're advertising the book on there as well. And then also our show is going to be coming out on TLC. It'll be premiering on April 1st. It'll be starting the new series. And so, yeah, stay tuned. There's lots of exciting things happening.
Exciting things,
Yeah.
not mentioning any names. That's awesome. Thank you all so much for
Yes,
being with
thank
us on
you.
WND today.